Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Excited to be here.
We are getting into the weeds today, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Seattle City Council meeting minutes.
Some would say riveting.
I would say that. August 6th and 13th.
Summertime.
The dog days of summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
When maybe not a lot happens.
Right.
But we're going to find out that a lot does happen.
Yes.
So buckle up.
You bet.
We're going full-on civic geek today.
I love it.
And cracking open these city council meeting minutes because, trust me, where there are minutes, there's a story.
Oh, there's always a story.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. These documents are like time capsules.
Ooh, I like that.
They really are. They're capturing those debates, those decisions, the personalities that really shape a city.
Okay, so paint a picture for me.
Sure.
For anyone who has not spent, let's be honest, their Friday night
Right.
brushing up on their local governance,
Right.
what can you learn from these meeting minutes?
So imagine you've got this direct line
Okay,
into the conversations happening at City Hall,
I love it.
right behind closed doors.
Okay.
These meeting minutes document who said what was voted on,
Mm-hmm.
even like points of order amendments,
Okay.
all those nitty-gritty details
That's no drama.
that give you a behind-the-scenes look at how these decisions are made.
It's like a reality show, but with fewer cameras.
That's one way to put it.
And way more acronyms, I would say.
A few more acronyms,
Mm-hmm.
but these minutes are public record for a reason.
Okay.
They hold these elected officials accountable, and they're supposed to give us citizens insight into how our government works.
Transparency.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Yes.
So we start, as most good meetings do,
Right.
with roll call.
Yes.
And in the August 6th meeting,
Okay.
Councilmember Rivera was fashionably late.
Oh.
I like to think they were just catching the tail end of a really important phone call, saving the city one delay at a time.
While I admire your optimism,
Yeah?
noting those late arrivals is standard practice.
Okay.
It's less about the gossip, though.
Right.
More about accountability.
Right, making sure everybody's there,
Exactly.
present and accounted for.
Every detail matters,
Mm-hmm.
even the small ones, because they all add up to a complete and transparent record.
Fair enough.
Hmm.
Now, the public comment portion of a meeting, I have to say, is always my favorite. It's like a little microcosm of what's going on
Yes.
in the city.
Absolutely.
It's a snapshot of what is on Seattleites' minds.
Totally.
And August 6th, a lot of speakers.
Oh, yeah.
42, to be exact,
Wow.
compared to 35
Okay.
on August 13th.
Interesting.
So is that typical?
I mean, it fluctuates.
Okay.
Sometimes you have a controversial bill
Sure.
or a really big local issue that ignites people's passions,
Totally.
and you get a much bigger crowd.
Sure.
Think is that like a barometer for the city's mood?
Okay.
More speakers,
Yeah.
higher the temperature.
I like that. I like that a lot. And just looking at these names,
Yeah.
Bapu Mishra, Michaela Romero, Carter Yu.
Wow.
Like, you can already get a sense of the diversity of voices and perspectives.
Yeah.
That makes Seattle what it is.
Yeah.
And it just makes you wonder what brought each of them
Right.
to City Hall that day.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. What stories did they share?
What were their experiences?
What changes
Yeah.
are they hoping to see?
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of these minutes.
Yeah.
They spark your curiosity.
Yes, they do.
They give us clues.
Little breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
To follow and kind of prompt us to dig a little deeper
Mm-hmm.
into the lives and motivations of our fellow citizens.
And speaking of digging deeper,
Let's do it.
let's talk about the legislation itself.
Yes.
Because we know these meetings covered a range of issues.
Right.
Public safety,
Mm.
budget allocations.
Yeah.
But there's one bill in particular
Okay.
that caught our eye.
I'm intrigued.
CB 120825,
Catchy.
discussed on August 6th.
Okay.
And for our listeners,
Yes.
CB stands for
Council bill.
Council Bill.
Yeah. Think of it as shorthand for their legislative to-do list.
I love it.
Right.
So CB 120825
Okay.
deals with where Seattle detains people after they're arrested.
Okay.
So this isn't just about
Right.
finding space.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
It's about navigating, this whole web of legal obligations,
Totally.
limited resources,
Of course.
and honestly, some really tough moral and ethical questions
Even
about
here.
how a city cares
Right.
for those in its custody.
Exactly. And the minutes give us a front row seat
Whaling.
to that complexity.
Okay.
You can see it's not just a rubber stamp.
Mm-hmm.
It sparked over an hour of debate,
Oh, wow.
even a brief recess.
Really?
And then ultimately they had to switch to remote voting
Oh, no.
because of a disruption.
Really?
Yeah.
Somebody was not happy.
So we know that there were some strong opinions at play here
Okay.
and potentially some political maneuvering behind the scenes.
Oh, this is where it gets good.
It always does.
And we are back. More Seattle City Council.
Back in the chambers.
Back in the chambers. So before the break,
Yes.
we were talking about CB 12825.
Okay.
That bill about detention capacity
Right.
and the amendment.
Yeah.
That seemed to stir up a little bit of drama.
Right.
So
Yeah.
securing those 20 beds at the SCORE facility,
Right.
not quite as simple as it sounds.
No, you're catching on. These decisions are about more than just logistics,
Okay.
right? We're talking budgets, interagency relationships,
Yeah.
and really the city council's role in this larger ecosystem of criminal justice.
So who's paying for those beds?
Exactly.
Who's responsible for the people in those beds?
Exactly.
Right? Like, it gets complicated
Complicated. Yeah.
quickly.
Very quickly.
And what I think is so interesting
Yes.
is these minutes give us a little glimpse
Yeah.
into how all those factors play out
Totally.
in real time.
Right.
The push and pull
Absolutely.
between these competing priorities.
Yeah. And if you look closely at the arguments surrounding this amendment,
Okay.
you can kind of start to see some of these fault lines emerge,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Like some
Mhm.
council members might be saying, no, we need to keep those costs here within the city's budget.
Right.
And others are saying, well, maybe a partnership with SCORE
Right.
would be a more efficient use of resources.
Right. Or maybe they don't want to deal with it.
Or maybe they don't.
Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. Yeah.
It's above my pay grade.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got like this political chess match.
Totally.
Right.
It's very strategic.
Every move has these budgetary
Yes.
and jurisdictional implications.
Absolutely.
And sometimes those moves
Right.
lead to some unexpected consequences.
Right.
Right. Like this whole disruption,
Yeah.
that forced the meeting to go remote.
Right. I know.
Can you imagine?
Oh, my gosh.
I kind of can.
I know.
I mean, everybody grabbing their laptops,
Right.
trying to figure out how to log on to Zoom.
Right.
I don't know.
I know you're painting a picture.
I love it.
Yeah. A little bit of chaos
It's good.
keeps things interesting.
It's good to be reminded that even the most serious of meetings
Right.
can't escape the tech hiccups.
Not at all.
Love it. Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
to the August 13th meeting.
Okay.
We see another example
Yeah.
of complex dynamics at play.
Right.
But this time,
Okay.
it all revolves around
Hit me.
the city budget.
The city budget.
Because nothing.
The divide
That's right.
sparks more joy
Exactly.
and debate
Right.
than figuring out where the money goes.
Right. So I noticed something kind of interesting
Yep.
about this meeting.
What's that?
They changed the agenda order,
Oh, really?
which I'm guessing is not just
No.
a matter of shuffling papers.
No, it's very strategic.
Oh.
The order of business,
Okay.
especially the first item on the agenda,
Okay.
really sets the tone
Okay.
for the meeting.
Right.
It signals priorities,
Okay.
influences the flow of the debate.
Right.
It can even subtly sway how people vote.
Oh, this is good.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's juicy.
So by shaking up the agenda.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
The council president,
Right.
or maybe even a group of council members
Right.
working together.
Right.
They were trying to make a statement.
Absolutely, they're directing the narrative.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a power play
It is a total power play.
disguised as a procedural tweak.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm starting to think these city council meetings are way more exciting.
Way more exciting.
Do we give them credit for?
Way more.
Right.
Behind those agendas,
Yeah.
plenty of drama.
I love it. Okay.
And speaking of drama,
Okay, here we go.
August 13th meeting
Yeah.
featured its fair share,
Okay.
particularly around CB 110812.
Another bill.
Another bill.
Another acronym.
Another acronym.
Deciphered.
I love it.
Right.
Yes.
Budget amendment.
So this is a budget amendment.
That,
Yes.
despite passing,
Okay.
faced a bit of opposition.
It did.
Councilmember Morales voted against it.
Interesting.
So tell me more about this budget amendment.
Okay.
What was it about?
Yeah.
Why was it such a sticking point?
The meeting minutes themselves don't get into the really nitty-gritty
Okay.
of the specifics.
Okay.
But we do know
Okay.
that CB 1100812
Okay.
involved reallocating those funds
Right.
within the existing city budget.
Okay.
And anytime you're talking about moving money around,
Oh, yeah.
especially public funds,
Right.
it's going to generate some debate.
Absolutely. Budgets are about priorities.
Again.
And those priorities
Yes,
differ
they do.
depending on
That's right.
what side of the aisle you sit on.
Absolutely.
Maybe just individual council members' perspectives
Of course.
and their constituents' needs.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What might seem like a minor line item shift.
Right.
So one person
Right.
could represent
a whole
a
program.
vital program
Right.
or service
Exactly.
to another.
And that's where all those behind-the-scenes negotiations happen.
This is what I love.
Right. The compromise is the horse trading.
This is the good stuff.
I know it is right.
Right.
It's so good.
We only get to see
The tip of the iceberg.
the final vote count.
Exactly.
But I love imagining
Oh,
what was the back and forth.
totally.
Were there any impassioned pleas?
I'm sure.
Were there strategic alliances?
I bet.
Right. Oh, yeah. That shaped that outcome.
It's like a political thriller
It is
playing out.
in slow motion.
Yes.
With each budget line
I love it.
representing a potential
Yes.
plot twist.
A plot twist. I love it.
So we've got these two meetings,
Right?
seemingly ordinary,
Right.
just a couple weeks apart.
Yeah.
But look at what we've uncovered.
I know. It's so interesting.
Debates about detention capacity,
Right.
strategic agenda shifts,
Totally.
budget battles,
Of course.
remote meeting mayhem.
I mean, who knew?
Who knew?
Right.
It's enough to make anyone want to run for office.
I know.
Or at least binge watch The West Wing.
Maybe a little of both.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Something like that.
These minutes highlight how much drama happens even at the most local levels of government.
Yeah, and it's a good reminder that behind all those policy decisions,
Right.
every budget allocation,
Yeah.
there are real people,
Real people.
competing interests,
Yes.
and some really tough choices.
Tough choices, yeah.
Speaking of tough choices,
Yes.
remember that mysterious Initiative 137
Yes.
that popped up
Right.
in both sets of meeting minutes?
Yes.
Seemed like a little bit of a side note,
Okay.
but it clearly caught someone's attention
Okay.
at City Hall.
Give me the details.
Right.
Okay.
What's the story there?
So Initiative 137,
Okay.
it's definitely worth a deeper dive,
Okay.
but essentially it's a citizen-led initiative
Okay.
that's proposing a new payroll tax
Okay.
on Seattle's highest earners,
Okay.
with that revenue earmarked to go
Okay.
to developing and maintaining social housing.
So we're talking about a pretty significant source of funding
Potentially.
for a major issue.
Absolutely.
Affordable housing,
Front and center.
which has been front and center
Yes.
in Seattle
Huge.
for years.
Yeah.
No wonder.
Right.
It's generating some buzz
A lot of buzz.
at these council meetings.
Big time.
Right.
Yeah, and the fact that it's citizen-led
Right.
adds a whole other layer
Exactly.
of complexity.
Because now they have to consider.
Right. The council has to think about not just the policy itself, but the will of the voters
Right.
who signed that petition.
Sure.
And of course,
The political ramifications
exactly,
of supporting it or not supporting it.
100%.
Right.
It's a lot.
So it's not just about the numbers
No,
on a spreadsheet.
it's about people.
This is about
It's about power.
public opinion,
Yes.
political pressure,
Yes.
and those big picture questions.
Right. Well, what's the role of government?
What is the role of government?
Right.
What are the needs of the city?
What are the needs of the people?
It's like a high-stakes game of chess,
It is high stakes,
but with more zeros
way more zeros.
and a lot more on the line
Absolutely.
than just who wins.
And that's what I love about these meeting minutes.
Right.
They show you that.
They're a lens.
They're a lens into how local government really works.
They reveal the stories.
The human stories, the power dynamics,
Right.
the behind-the-scenes stuff,
The drama.
the drama
That shapes the decisions that impact us every day.
that affect our lives every day.
I love it. And it's like we're peeking behind the curtain at City Hall.
I know, right?
And you realize it's not magic.
It's not magic. It's not wizards
No.
pulling levers.
It's people.
It's people
For you and me
just like us
trying to figure it out.
grappling with these complex issues
Yes.
and trying to make the best choices.
the best choices for the city. I love it.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you know that realization
Yes.
can be very empowering.
It is empowering.
Because it reminds us
Yeah.
that we all have a role to play
We do.
in shaping our communities.
We really do.
Whether that is running for office,
Yeah.
speaking at a public hearing,
Yes.
or just staying informed
Or staying informed. Absolutely.
about the issues that matter most
Couldn't agree more.
to us.
Well said. So to our listeners out there who are now feeling very inspired
Yes.
to maybe do a little
digging.
civic sleuthing of their own,
Yes. Love it.
what would you say are the key takeaways
Oh, my God.
from this deep dive?
Yes. Okay, so first and foremost,
Yeah.
never underestimate the power
Yes.
of a seemingly mundane document.
Right.
These minutes
Yeah.
are a treasure trove
Yes.
of insights for anyone willing to dig.
I love it. Okay.
Exactly.
Second, remember that even local government,
Yes.
for all its
Bureaucracy.
bureaucracy, thank you,
You got it.
Right.
Yeah.
and procedural quirks,
Right.
is ultimately driven by
People.
people
Yes.
with different priorities.
With different priorities and different perspectives.
Mhm. And different approaches
Yes.
to problem solving.
To problem solving.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. And those differences
Yes.
are what make democracy
They do. They make democracy work.
work.
That's right.
It's about finding common ground,
Yes.
even amidst disagreements.
Compromise.
Right.
Yes.
Compromise. Working together
Working together. That's
to
it.
create a better future for everyone.
100%. Love it.
And finally,
Yes.
never stop.
Never stop.
Asking questions.
Asking questions,
Seeking out
different perspectives,
different perspectives.
and holding
Yes.
those in power accountable.
Accountable, that's it.
Because.
The-
Because.
An informed citizenry
Yes.
is the foundation
The foundation.
of a thriving democracy.
Yeah, I love it.
So to all of our listeners out there,
Yes.
next time you are feeling maybe a little disillusioned
It's easy to do.
with politics, I get it.
Bruh.
Don't despair.
Don't despair.
Grab a cup of coffee,
Yes.
fire up the laptop,
Love it.
and dive head first
Dive in.
into those city council meeting minutes.
Yes.
You never know
You never know what you'll find.
what you're gonna find.
Exactly.
What fascinating stories,
The drama.
hidden dramas,
The intrigue.
unexpected insights you might find.
Love it.
And who knows?
Who knows?
You might be inspired to become a civic superhero
Yes.
in your own right.
100%.
That is it for this deep dive.
Loved it. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.